Brace yourself for this one. Take a deep breath in. Something's happening in this country that should send shockwaves through each of us. Britain's legal system is getting dangerously cosy with Islamic religious authority. The Times reports that a High Court decision is undermining the very heart of secular law, all thanks to a fatwa, which is a religious ruling from a Sharia council. Yeah, you heard that right, my friends. A British judge used an Islamic fatwa to decide whether a 5-year-old, Tafida Rakib, should live or die. She'd suffered brain damage and doctors were ready to turn off her life support. But her parents, with the help of the Islamic Council of Europe, founded by the, well, not exactly moderate, Hatim al-Haddad, got a fatwa declaring it impermissible to end her life support. The judge actually cited that fatwa as a reason to keep the girl alive, even though doctors said she had no chance of recovery. Now, ignoring what you think about that girl's chances, this isn't just any fatwa. This is from a council run by a man whose views on women are dodgier than Del Boy's market stall, and they've been branded misogynistic by the former extremism commissioner, Dame Sarah Khan. The fella has even been sanctioned by the US and the EU for his views on women's rights, and yet his opinions used to influence a British court. A man who took a fact-finding trip to meet the Taliban. British courts ought to say they don't give a flying flamingo about this man's fatwa. This isn't just one case, it's a warning. The UK has been pulled into a dangerous orbit where Sharia courts are gaining influence. Fatwas ought to have no place in our legal system. Just where, my friends, does this madness take us in 2025? Well, Chloe, I mean, looking at this, the Times obviously released the list of and the number of Sharia councils in this country, and we are the capital in the Western world of Sharia courts. I mean, does that give you pause for thought? Should there ever be a fatwa taken as a reason and used by a judge in a British court of law?
Absolutely not. Now, regardless of what you think in this child's case, citing this fatwa in the High Court, that gives legitimacy to these Sharia courts. We should not be giving any legitimacy to these whatsoever. I didn't even know if they existed, to be honest, before this Times report. I was horrified to see that in Britain, you can come and live here and ignore the rule of law in this country and just come up with your own. Use Sharia law instead and go get your marriages and divorces done under this quack court. I mean, it is just absolutely terrifying to see this is happening in Britain. These should be outlawed.
Connie?
I mean, I think it's another example of our country happily absorbing this Islamic culture and ideology. I mean, not only do we have these Sharia courts popping up, like I was like you, Chloe, I had no idea their prevalence in the country until this Times report.
A lot of people have said that.
Yeah, but also the fact that only a couple of weeks ago we had a British MP standing up in Parliament calling for effectively blasphemy laws to be brought in and the Prime Minister agreeing with him.
Yeah, Adam, I mean, does this give you concern for the future of the country?
It does for many reasons. No religion should have any influence over the laws that we abide by in this country. And again, going forward, I don't think any religion, whether it be Islam or Hinduism or any religion out there, should grow in power to mean that people like you and me or atheists have to abide by certain rules. Now, this is just a court within a community, but I worry about...
when it's been a High Court judge is using that ruling to actually say, well, it is impermissible for this little...
I mean, this is a shocking revelation. But
case, if I was the parents of that little girl, I dare say I would be in the position of wanting it to be viewed as impermissible in itself. But that's not the point. The point is that this is a fatwa being used by a High Court judge.
Look, I worry about maybe women within that community being bullied, suppressed or controlled, punished by these so-called courts. So that is my concern. But this sets a dangerous precedent, and I would like to hear maybe the government speak about that. But This government will not speak about that because they potentially would upset 3 million voters that could vote for them at the next election. And trust me, they're going to need every vote that they can get at the next election.
I mean, Susie, you're a good old feminist, right? I mean, do you have concerns about... Would you not say you're a feminist?
I'm not. I think that word can have lots of connotations. I mean, I just believe that women and men are equal and we need to just get over loads of baggage from the past.
I would argue that many of these courts would not hold that very view.
Yeah, I mean, look, I saw this a couple of days ago, actually, and I think it's incredibly concerning. Look, one of the things that makes our country great is we have been ahead of the times on these things, giving women the vote, and these are hard fought for rights for women. And I think what is deeply concerning is particularly how women can be treated, some of the whatever you want to call it, the beliefs around women. Ultimately, men and women are equal. They're equally able to do things. And I just think we cannot backtrack on these things or be going backwards. And I think that it is concerning. You also just can't have parallel legal systems going on. We have British law, and that is right. And it is good, you know.
But Susie, what would you say to people that say, well, even having this conversation is Islamophobic?
No, because look, I think you can celebrate the fact that we live in a country that has people from many different backgrounds. You know, I'm a strong Christian. I've got loads of friends that are strong Muslims. You've got loads of friends that are Hindus.
But is this not a sign that it's not working out very well for us?
No, because I think in every community you have extremism. You have that in every community. And the point is, you know, whether you're the government or whether you're the media, you have to have those checks and balances and those challenges in place that say, no, sorry, we're not going to have that here.
Do we have that? Because it is happening. You know, a High Court judge taking that into account.
Yeah, and I think that is deeply concerning. I think, look, I'm really hoping that, you know, he has been held to account on that, because I just think it's, you know, how insulting is that to women across this country, you know, that have experienced any kind of oppression, you know?
I mean, Chloe, do you have as much sympathy with the multicultural ideology and dogma that is very much protected, just very briefly?
So I think that it's normal in a society to have various different religions, but if one of them grows too big and too powerful, then things become quite concerning. You start getting into secularism. That's where we're headed, and Keir Starmer will not stand up for this because he is a coward. OK, Teresa's written in. She says Sharia law should be banned in this country. And that actually, Michael says, sorry, you're all 25 years behind the times. It's been in place here in Bradford for over 25 years. Time for you all to grow up. Well, that's me told.
Still watching? Well, I've got a quick ask for you. Recent UK, we're fighting the woke brigade and inspiring young Brits, but we need your help to go bigger. We're hosting a fundraiser and would love you to sign up and share the link on the big day. It's easy, it makes a massive impact, and there are prizes for top fundraisers. Click the Google form in the description to join us. Cheers very much. Let's keep going together.